great basketball.
Defender for the master, Jason Tatum.
Recovering pre and post game back on this channel.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back into Celtics Postgame Live. I am your host, Rob Haytayan. Joined with me is my co-host, Justin Lowe, Zack, a.k.a. the Celtics fan page, and Jack. Bienvenue, guys. Thank you so much for joining us in as the Boston Celtics take a 2-1 lead on the Philadelphia 76ers. They take back home court advantage as they win Game 3 on the road, 114-102. Jason Tatum led all Celtics scorers. He had 27 points, 10 rebounds, 9 of which came in the last 2.5 minutes of the closeout win. Jaylen Brown wasn't too far behind him. He kind of fell into foul trouble as he's got that tough James Harden assignment. He was still big tonight. He had 23 points. And how about the elite shooter, Al Horford? He had 17 points on 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. Al finally got his groove back. Celtics won, all starters in double digits. We got a lot to dive into this post game, but nonetheless, you guys know the routine. I'm going to start us off. Justin, I'll start with you. Thoughts, reactions, opinions, what you got for me after this Game 3 dub?
Thought the physicality was up tonight. It was up really high. I thought Embiid got going early, maybe a little adrenaline. But as the game went on, I thought Grant, the pressure, he was smart throughout the game. The pressure on Joel Embiid was fantastic. Celtics really made James Harden struggle. And I think you live with PJ Tucker and Niang making those threes. I think that's going to happen for Philly. Philly needs that to happen. But I think it's really important that the Celtics went out and won this game. A lot of the momentum, I felt like, even though Celtics beat them by 34 the other night, Philly did their job winning on the road, especially without Joel Embiid. Then tonight, coming back home, their first home game of the postseason in a while since the first round. And then that Joel Embiid emotional presentation, it was an amazing presentation, I'll admit. But Celtics got the job done on the road and took back home court advantage.
Absolutely. It was a gut check win on the road. Absolutely. I'm over to you, Zach. I want to hear your thoughts, your takeaways, and then we'll hit Jack after Zach goes.
All right. I absolutely hate playing the 76ers, and I think I'm reminded of that every single time that we play them. It's just so painful to watch them play basketball. It's just, I feel like every 15 seconds I'm looking at James Harden or Joel Embiid on the floor. It's insane. Shout out to Grant for taking a foot to the head today and then somehow still playing. That looked really bad. That might have been like the worst injury since Jalen fell against the Wolves like 5 years ago, where he fell like on his neck. That looked, I guess Gordon Hayward's injury was pretty bad too. But I don't know. Grant's looked pretty bad. I'm surprised he came back in the game. Hope Rob is fine. Other than that, Jason Tatum, clutch. Thank God, finally. Jalen looked really aggressive. Smart was really good. And like Justin said, elite shooter Al Horford.
I mean, hey, shout out to my man Grant Williams, man. Come on, hey, that's the best. Like our good friend Celtics Insider said, that might have been the best 0-point game I have ever seen. I mean, he was clamping. I'm not gonna lie. I was very big fan of his defense tonight. On Joel Embiid, he was all up in his grill. You saw him. He was literally right in front of his chest, just staring right up at him. He wasn't letting him move a bit. He was trying to push him off his spot, get him down to the post. And I really like the Celtics defense on Embiid tonight. Like you said, Justin, just trying to force Niang or Melton to shoot, which at the end of the day you can live with. Always blitzing Embiid, not letting him get to that elbow. He loves that elbow jumper, so I think they were really able to limit a lot of him tonight, even though he did score 30. I mean, but still, and I could smell James Harden from here down Cape. He stinks. That guy is just. Jeez.
Nice.
Jesus, man.
Not far off.
I don't know How many he ate too many Twinkies before the game, man.
Well, so I think there were a lot of questions coming into the series, especially after game one. One of which was being whether or not the Celtics defense and Coach Joe Mazzulla could adjust on the fly and execute. Execution was not so only on the defensive end, but offensively too. Games 2 and 3 showed me a lot about this Boston Celtics team. One of which is that this defense is still elite. Holding a 76ers team to 87 and then 102 points, in which the Sixers, mind you, tonight, they had a lot of momentum, going back to what Justin was saying. You know, they stole one at our place without Joel Embiid. Embiid has his MVP ceremony, right? There was a lot for this going for the Sixers. And I think Boston responded really well at every scenario. I mean, when Philly went on a run, Boston closed the door on them. Even going back to that first quarter, we were up 24-14, I believe. Philly goes up 25-24, 11-0 run. We closed the quarter down 1. That's easy to kind of get discouraged on the road after you start out so great shooting, making your first 6 threes, and then, all of a sudden threes aren't falling. I think it was really impressive that the Celtics managed to gut this win out. And, credit goes where credit's due to Jason Tatum. Struggled from beyond the arc, but outside of that, 2 missed field goals that weren't three-pointers. 10 of 20, 3 of 11 from beyond the arc. I mean, it was an execution of Jason Tatum. It was get your ball to in the podcast. What did I say, Justin? I said sometimes you don't have to get pretty with execution. Just get the ball to your best player and let him execute. They did just that tonight. They got the ball to Jason Tatum and they let him execute.
Hit a big 3 in the corner. Honestly, I was surprised that 3 went in. He was previously 2 of 10 prior to that. But look, the Celtics did everything that they needed to do. And it's funny that down the stretch, this game was closer than it looked at the final score. The Celtics were able to push that out to 14 or 12 or whatever it was. Like, that is so important. And that is something that we never see like this. Like game 1, for instance, it was tight down the stretch. Celtics weren't able to push out any type of lead. The Celtics were not able to come out on top tonight. That was different. The Celtics knew, I think it was like 102-96. Like it was a 5-6 point game. I felt like the momentum kind of swung towards Philly later in that fourth quarter, and then Jason Tatum comes, and then the Grant Williams on the defensive end, and Al Horford hits a shot. Like, all these plays are just so crucial for the Celtics. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not saying the series is over whatsoever, but God damn, do those Philadelphia 76ers have to be discouraged. Put your hand down.
I am.
Hand down, dude.
I am.
I'm talking. What? Wait.
I thought he wanted to talk. I didn't think he was saying.
No. I'm just saying the series is over.
I thought it was like, oh, teacher.
Yeah, I know. Like, so this is what I'm saying. Like, Philly has to be discouraged of what they saw tonight. You got blown out by 34 points, and then you come out this flat. Boston had a 12-point lead in that first quarter. They came out flat. James Harden had 6 first-half turnovers. That is horrible. And he shot 1 of 8 from 3. That is horrible.
Justin, you know what I think is now the question? Because there are some questions still with this team, right? I think Game 2 and Game 3 were great.
As in Boston or Philly?
Boston. Something we haven't seen is taking advantage of the opportunity.
Correct.
The Celtics now, with stealing home court back, have the opportunity, Game 4, to come in here and essentially put the dagger in the Sixers. One game. If you can find a way, and I'm guessing Game 4, we're going to get a healthier Embiid, a better Harden, more adjustments for Philly on their home court. Game 4 is going to be a tough win. However, Philly has to be out of themselves right now, even just a little bit, right? There's got to be some doubt. So I think the next big question here is if the Boston Celtics can execute and take advantage of the opportunity.
For sure. I think going into Game 3, you have a great opportunity in front of you. To sweep in Philly and then to we got Ian. Let's go.
Ian,
But
we're cut you off, Jack, because before we get started with you, I got to hear Ian's takeaways and thoughts on this game.
I mean, I thought Jason Tatum wasn't clutch. That's what I was told.
Shame on you for thinking that. Shame on you for thinking that.
I was told Jason Tatum wasn't clutch.
Yeah,
I was told
shame on
he
you.
can't get it done in the fourth quarter. I was told he can't get it done in the playoffs. I was told that, I'm not going to lie, he got blocked by Embiid a couple times. But after that, on a night where Joel Embiid was crowned the MVP, the real MVP of the NBA showed up tonight, Jason Tatum in the fourth quarter absolutely owned the 76ers. And I don't care. Jason Tatum's the MVP. He has to now. He went into Philly, and he came out with the victory. It was too bad Jaylen Brown was in foul trouble, which I also called in the beginning of this game, which I said either Brown or Tatum are going to end up in foul trouble at the end of the game because Scott Foster was the ref. But let's be honest, we got bailed out a couple times too, so can't be that mad. Scott Foster did put on a masterclass tonight, I will say. But overall, this is what you want. Obviously you don't want Jason Tatum shooting 3 of 11 from 3, and you don't want, the amount of crazy stuff that happened in this game. Like, you don't want all that, but the fact is you won, and that's all that matters. Right. You won the game. It doesn't matter how it happened. You won, and that's all that matters. You're up 2-1.
For sure, and something I was just about to bring up before Ian popped in is just Rob Williams. I mean, I'm hoping he's all right and everything, but I just got a quote. I just saw this quote on him that Missoula said. He said he seemed to be okay. I shook his hand, so I think he's somewhat okay.
All right, well,
that's what Missoula had said.
You know what? I think when you look at this game, I'm looking at the box score. First of all starters were phenomenal tonight. I thought what Smart brought was great. I thought Derek White hit the shots when he was called upon. Al, elite shooter. Brown and Tatum, I think they got the job done. Tatum was phenomenal in that fourth quarter. But what speaks out to me was Malcolm Brogdon, because he shot very poorly from the floor, very efficiently from beyond the arc. Shot 4 of 12, but managed to get 15 points, 6 assists. If the Celtics defense sticks, if they continue to show up and put effort in, I think it's becoming apparent that their offense has so many options that it can be Tatum any night, Brown any night, White any night, Smart any night, Brogdon any night, Horford any night, right? That as long as they're playing good defense, they're virtually unbeatable. Is that crazy to say?
I think
no,
not
at all.
Because then something will happen.
I don't think it's crazy to say at all. I mean, we had that level of defense last year, but all we were missing is just that spark plug on offense off the bench, And Derek White, significant improvement from last year, and you add Malcolm Brogdon. I mean, I think, I totally agree with your statement. If we can continue to play the defense we've seen these past 2 games, if we can keep revving it up game by game, and we can give Rob more than like around 23, 25 minutes a game, I don't see anyone beating us in a 7-game series.
I mean, I think it should be. I mean, realistically, I think if you play game 1 10 times, we probably win 9 of them, and the one we lost was the one that we actually played. I think it should be 3-0. I mean, to be fair, I think we outplayed them in game 1 and took a washed James Harden who gave us 45 to beat us by 5, and then you go on and kill him in game 2, and then a really good road win in game 3. So, we seemingly have fixed the issues, but it looks like, I mean, I guess when you look at the entire season as a whole, we think we fix stuff, and then it happens again, and it happens again, and it happens again. And then, you think you fix it, and then 2 games later it's happening again. So I'm not going to say that it's fixed quite yet. I'm going to wait for them to go up 3-1 on Sunday, and then I'll say it's fixed.
Well,
I mean,
yes,
I think Zach brings up a great point. I mean, we're one missed 3-pointer away from being up 3-0 right now. So I think that's a great point. I mean, I think this is definitely a closer 2-1 series than it's looking like, to be honest with you. I mean,
and I think you could argue maybe, just maybe, that game 1 loss against Philadelphia without Joel Embiid was the best thing to happen to this team.
yep.
Because
totally agree with
maybe,
that, Rob.
just maybe, that it woke them up a little bit and said to them, if we don't execute, if we don't play defense, if we don't come to play, we will get sent home. That's what I'm praying. That is what because through 2 games, it's shown that that's the message they've gotten from that game 1 loss. I think Zack made a great point. It took 45 in a 2018-19 throwback game from James Harden to beat the Boston Celtics.
I told you
we should be up 3-0. We aren't.
We didn't play the Philadelphia 76ers in game 1. We played the 18-19 Houston Rockets. I told you that.
Well, the Sixers offense,
you're right.
The Sixers offense is so much better without Embiid. It's insane. Like, they are a complete different. Like, maybe their defense isn't as good and they don't have any rim protection, but their offense looks so much better without him. It feels like whenever he's on the floor, it's just everyone stands around and hopes that he scores. But it's like at some point your role players have to get involved. And I think Niang went on a 5-point run and Embiid sitting on the bench. That's just an example of their role players playing better when he's not on the floor.
And I think that if you look at the series so far, the Celtics, I think, have just looked like a better team. Even in that game 1 win, we looked better. We were playing better. It kind of was decided by that Malcolm Brogdon missed turnover, a James Harden step back 3. And then, it ended with a miscue last play drop. So right now, I think Game 4 presents an opportunity that is huge for Boston. And like I said, there are still questions to be answered about what this team can do. Game 4, if they win that, I think it's a gentleman's sweep, right? That's my prediction. 1 second. The reason why this Game 4 is so important, Justin, is because you're looking at the opposite side of the bracket. Same side of the bracket, opposite series. That has 7 games potentially written all over it. So if you can finish this thing off in 5, even 6, I'm okay with. But really, the opportunity right now presents is 5 games. If you can do that, then we could be potentially sitting in Boston for a week. And I know we've said this before against the Hawks, but that opportunity has now come again. How will they respond for Game 4? I think there is a responding to be done.
I think that goes for Philadelphia as well. I think they just look totally dysfunctional tonight. They did not look like they've even practiced together tonight. The turnovers, the miscommunications, down 10 with 1:10 left, inbounds pass, couldn't get the ball in bounds. Like, there were a lot of issues tonight in Philadelphia, and they have a lot to figure out. I think Boston has a really good opportunity, like you said, Rob, to go up 3-1, an opportunity to take this series in control back into Boston. And like Zack said earlier, this could very much be a 3-0 series right now. So I think for Boston, it's going to Sunday, keep that same focus, come out with the energy, and just be yourselves. Be the same brand of play the same brand of basketball you've been playing the last 2 games.
I think the biggest thing is, we talk a lot about, them getting double-digit leads, 8-point leads, 10-point leads with 4 minutes left, and they think it's over and they relax. You have to think about, okay, they're up 2-1. They know they can relax, but will they relax? And I think if they don't relax and they do win on Sunday, it'll say a lot about where they are as a team.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to the point that we talked about earlier, where it's which this team, when they come to play, when they lock in, when they execute for one whole game, they're really tough to beat. So if this team can look at film, watch film, execute, and tell themselves if we because Philly's going to come out like their season's on the line. Philly's not going to just like Atlanta. Philly is not. They're a good basketball team. They will not just bend over for us, right? It just won't happen. But I didn't mean that. But you know what I meant. They're not gonna. They won't just let this thing get finished in 5 games. But at the same time, Boston has a real opportunity here, and this game, in my opinion, is going to tell us everything that we need to know about this team. And we can lose this game, but it's how we come out and execute in this game. Because again, Philly's the 3 seed. They have the MVP. Harden is, shaky. You got to figure at some point his shot will fall. Maybe not to the level at which it did in game 1, but if we keep this thing close in game 4 and we execute and play good basketball, I think that if we can hop on this opportunity, we could potentially be looking at a real big time sitting on a week of rest free of no games in the Eastern Conference Finals back in Boston.
So here's what I said. I think it was really important that the Celtics went out and they got this win because now they're up 2-1. They're not going to go into Philly game 4 down 2-1. Worst case scenario, they lose that. Then they're down 3-1. So this was a huge, great thing. Dude, Rob is on cloud 9 right now.
I'm not.
Just so excited.
Rob's not here right now.
I think it was just Rob's having a Jack moment right now.
Listen,
dude, come on, y'all are frozen, bro.
You're at 1%. Zip it, bro.
Shut up.
2-1. At 2-1, it is so crucial for the Celtics to regain control of this series. You are no longer playing from behind like you were in game 1. Not gonna lie, game 2, it's not like I didn't think the Celtics would win that. It's not like I didn't think we were going to win that game, but at the same time, you get those butterflies in your stomach, thinking worst case scenario, and this time the Celtics have control and they have a great opportunity, like you said, Rob, in game 4.
No, I was thinking worst case scenario throughout that fourth quarter. Once Georges Niang started that fourth quarter, hitting 8 in a row, I was like, there's no way we're doing this again.
I know.
And then what else happened? There was something else that happened that I can't remember. It was something that
corner 3 that somebody made too. I don't know who it was.
Someone hit a 3, and I was like, no way. Harden hit a 3 after not being able to hit a shot all game. And I was like, there's no way we're doing this again. And this is the fear that we've had for all season, pretty much in the fourth quarter, which we shouldn't, and it shouldn't be a problem. But at the same time, the Celtics did what they had to do. They won the game. That's exactly what they needed to do. And now they're going to come back, and hopefully they win game 4, and then they can put the finish it off here.
Yeah, I mean, again, it goes back. We said it. I said at the beginning of this show, there were questions, right, about the Celtics. They answered those. The questions were, can they adjust? Is their defense going to show up? They answered those questions that needed to be answered. There's one more question I think that lingers with the Celtics team, and that is, can they jump on opportunity? And right now, the opportunity presents itself that if they can find a way at 3:30 on Sunday on ESPN in Philadelphia in the Wells Fargo Center to take this game in 2023, to take and win this game, then essentially they have another opportunity to close it out on their home floor in Boston. And if I were to make my prediction right now, I think Philadelphia really is doubting themselves, like I said. I do think Embiid, he looked a lot better tonight. I give him credit. Game 2, he looked slow. He looked shaken up. We'll see what it presents. I think tonight Harden was the problem. But, I mean, end of the day, great win, gut check win. It was one of those games where it was it kind of felt like the Warriors game back in January, where offense was shaky all game, But at the end of the game, it was the big-time players that executed, right? It was Jaylen Brown who hit the big shots against the Golden State Warriors. Tonight, it was Jason Tatum who knocked down the big-time shots.
Facts. That's exactly what happened, because I think the biggest thing that we've all wondered about the Celtics, and we've been talking about this for years, is when are they going to jump on the opportunity? They didn't do it in the Milwaukee series last year. They didn't do it in the Miami series last year. They didn't do it in the finals last year. They almost didn't do it in the Atlanta series last series. If they can win Game 4, they have to get it done. They have to.
Right.
They have to do it. They have to do it this time. They can't continuously make it harder on themselves. If they can win Game 4, it'll be the best thing for them. Because maybe it'll finally exercise their demons where they think they won't.
I'm sorry. But did anyone else see that?
Yes, it was just me.
It was just.
What?
Oh man, what is happening?
Y'all are off it.
No, but Ian, you make
No, that was the program. That was the program. That wasn't us.
That was no, but Ian is 100%. Ian is 100% right. We've been in this situation so many times over the last 365 days. It's almost impossible to not. It's almost impossible to just keep letting this happen. And I don't know though. I don't know. I see. This is where I'm like, I don't think the league is rigged, and I don't. I'm not going to sit here and say that, but it's almost like. Do I see Philly losing Game 4? Like, I know I shouldn't think like that, but like, I don't know.
I'm gonna drop a Joel Embiid quote real quick. He just kind of threw James Harden under the bus a little bit. Quote, I think players have to show up. End quote.
Damn.
Could be talking about Montrezl Harrell.
I mean, bro's not wrong.
There's no context to that. That's just the entire.
Yeah, but could it be like everybody's saying like how he's injured and he's like, I mean, you got to show up, you got to do it.
I don't know. Maybe he's talking about Tyrese Maxey too, because he was 4 of 16 tonight and 3 of 9 from 3.
Just feels like that's a wild thing to say after you're only down like 2-1. Like it's fine.
I don't know. Maybe
they crumbled on the court,
so they'll play better.
No, they did.
They crumbled on the. Did you hear that, Rob? Zach, read that again.
Joel Embiid on this time of the year. That's the only context there is. I think players have to show up. Period. That's the end of the quote.
That's a direct shot at James Harden.
It looks like it.
And you know what? I think with that comment comes, some players, some teams, we've seen it with like LeBron James led teams, right? The best way to get to the players, and honestly, we saw with Marcus Smart last year with his Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown comments. Sometimes it takes the other team's best player to make a remark to the media that gets that guy to wake up. So as a Celtics fan, I love seeing that because that shows dysfunction and, some hindering on whether or not they can believe they can get this done. Because like before the series started, what was our main thing with this series was that Boston kind of has the mental advantage over Philadelphia, like by a good amount. But, we've seen Marcus Smart call out Tatum and Brown, not in the playoffs, but we've seen them call them out. And, great players, big time players, they, like I've been saying all playoffs, they make big time plays. So we'll see. Harden, just like the Celtics have to respond, Harden's going to have to respond. Celtics are going to have to not think Philly's gonna just let us take this. Is the better way to put it this time around. But I think that, like I said, Game 4 is going to tell us a lot about this team, this series, and really, I'm excited, man. Biggest game, new biggest game of the year.
For real.
I just want to give Joe Mazzulla his props. I thought he coached really well today. I know he gets a lot of flack for his poorly coached games, so I'd like to give him props for a really
by the way,
game. Other than that challenge in like the second quarter or something,
yeah, it was bad.
But really, limited Embiid. Great game from Coach Joe. No comments after that.
Sure.
Also, by the way, Joel Embiid is now 1-10 in his career versus the Celtics in the playoffs.
Dude, that's actually nuts.
Was that his? That was his first. No,
first win?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, he wasn't playing game one.
The only win was in 2018.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
And you know what? You know what? I think that we could be seeing with Boston, and I think this is like interesting because I've been watching the Golden State Warriors versus Lakers series, and I'm thinking to myself, like, who the hell do I root for? Because I'm not a LeBron guy, and I don't want to see Golden State, and I dislike Steph Curry. Again, what the? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But, you know, I don't like Steph Curry. I don't like LeBron. Who do I root for? But a side of me's kind of started to think, like, it's so clear that the Celtics' kryptonite could be really good guard play, that playing the Lakers is better. So, you know, we saw in game one, the Sixers played freely. They let Harden run that pick and roll, and the guards played really well. We saw against Atlanta, you know, the guards played really well. DeJounte Murray, Trae Young, you know, those guys, Bogdanovich, they gave Boston a lot of trouble. And I think it's due to the fact that our big men struggle against guards, and our defense is so heavily reliant on that back line holding it down for us. I think it's easier for that back line to hold it down against a Joel Embiid and Giannis, as crazy as that sounds, than it is to hold it down against a Steph Curry, James Harden, or Trae Young. And I think that is something we have to look for, is that, you know, maybe, just maybe, that the Boston Celtics kryptonite, and honestly, I don't even think it's that crazy to say. I think the kryptonite is just a really good guard room. We saw it with Klay Thompson, Poole, and Steph Curry, and I think we saw it with Trae Young and DeJounte Murray to an extent. And game one, I think we saw it with James Harden and Tyrese Maxey. When other teams got good guards, the Celtics get flustered, and it's tough to defend them.
Yeah, no, I like that point.
I just don't want to see 6 to 7 games of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson again.
Although I feel like we're not giving the Nuggets enough credit. The Nuggets have looked easily like the best team in the Western Conference.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, honestly, Denver is my.
I feel like the Nuggets are going to be a really hard team if we have to face them in the finals. That's going to be a real test, because they match up pretty well against Boston, like position for position well against Boston.
My thing with Denver, though, is that I'm just relying on the fact that we have 2 superstars and they don't. As great as Jokic is, it's just like it comes down to. I mean, Denver looks phenomenal. I think right now
you
they're
never
the favorite.
know. Jamal Murray, they have good guard play too. They have Jamal Murray. They have KCP. Yeah. He's a really good shooter. They have what's his name on the bench? I can't remember his name.
No,
Bruce Brown.
Oh no,
Bones got traded. Bones got traded. Jeff Green, Aaron Gordon,
Monte Morris. That's the guy.
Do they have Monte Morris?
I think so. I don't think he plays for anymore.
Bruce Brown. It's got to be Bruce Brown.
He's from Boston.
I think that's what I was thinking. I don't know why I said Monte Morris.
Fun fact of the day: Bruce Brown is from Boston.
Why, dude? Right after I say they had to get off. Stop.
No, but I think that I would rather Ian see Denver than Golden State. I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I guess so. I'd like to see the Lakers too, honestly.
Yeah, because I think LA like I was saying, LA plays into our advantages. Not strong guard depth, really strong forward depth with Braun and AD. So we'll see. It's a long playoff. I think
we could exercise some demons if the Celtics beat LeBron in the finals.
Yeah, that's the last step, right? Technically speaking, it's to beat LeBron.
Imagine that's the final path that Brown and Tatum have to get through. You have to get through the one guy that beat you back in 2018.
You have to get through the franchise that's been battling you since you've been a franchise. Like that's
basically the guy that's owned your franchise for the last decade and a half. So
yeah, we'll see. I think that Lakers Warriors series has 7 games written all over it.
For sure.
Of course it does. You think the NBA would miss out on an opportunity to have a Steph Curry and LeBron James playoff series, not go 7 games? Come on.
Potentially the last one.
Yeah, no, I mean,
come on.
But hey, listen, I'm not focused on the ESPN and TNT talk too much about Bron and Steph. So focus right now is on the Boston
Doris
Celtics.
Burke was talking way too much about.
Oh
Joel Embiid
my
tonight.
God, bro!
Dude,
Bro, every other thing, and like I like Doris Burke too.
Yeah,
but every other thing out of her mouth was about Joel Embiid.
It's so bad, bro. And one thing I didn't bring up in the show that I want to is, bro, a 5-second violation is crazy in the last 2 minutes of the game. Stop talking.
Hold on.
Jack, you have to close out the show now. There it is. Well, I'm back.
I'm back. Here we go.
I don't know. There we go. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. This thing is like I'm not touching anything.
All right, but yeah, it was just a 5-second
Doris
call.
Burke
Crazy, and like Doris Burke is crazy.
Well, she's a Philly. She is like my thing with Doris is that like I give her the pass with Philadelphia because she has admittedly been a Sixers fan. Like she's openly a Sixers fan.
Yeah. ESPN hates Boston. I feel like ESPN over other networks hates Boston. I absolutely can't stand it.
Richard Jefferson.
You know how much credit they were giving
Richard Jefferson
last night?
Yeah.
Richard Jefferson what?
Hates Boston.
Bro, Richard Jefferson got owned on Twitter by All Ball on Twitter. He got owned on Twitter, and then he went on ESPN the next day and absolutely like complained about it. He's like, "Oh, all you Celtics fans were in my Twitter mentions after the Bucks lost because I said the Bucks were like the most depth or whatever." And
he said that
it was
Milwaukee
hilarious.
had more depth by a mile. It was like not even close.
Yeah, a mile. They said it was. What was it? It was Denver, a gap, Boston, and then a gap between Boston and Milwaukee. I think that's what he said, or something like that. But yeah, it happens. And like the worst part is we can't even listen to our own Boston sports radio station because they hate the Celtics and they hate
our own Boston sports radio station doesn't even talk about the Celtics. They only talk about the Patriots. That's my problem with the
Patriots.
I know. It's so dumb.
They only talk about the Patriots or any other team that's doing bad. So if the Celtics are doing bad, they'll talk about it. If the Red Sox are doing bad, they'll talk about it. And if the Bruins are doing bad, they'll talk about it. Granted, they have enough to say about the Bruins.
Last year, I'll never forget this. Last year, the Celtics were in the finals. Felger and Mam just flicking through the channels. Felger, Maz, whatever. They were talking about the freaking Patriots training camp. Dude, the Celtics are playing the Warriors in the finals. Nobody gives a rat's ass about
earlier this year, it's funny you said earlier this year, I'm flipping through. I always, end of the Celtics games, right? Me and Dad will go in. We'll click through the channels. Boston sports media comes up. I'm not joking. They are running a segment on what jersey Tom Brady would look the best in if he came out of retirement. And the Celtics had just beaten, I forget who it was. It was a big time win though. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me? Like, you are talking about what jersey Tom Brady would look best in if he came out of retirement, and you have the Bruins as the best team, or were the best team in the regular season, and the Boston Celtics, who at the time being had the best record in the NBA. And you were talking about what jersey Tom Brady would look the coolest in?
Dude, I don't know why they just talk so much about the Patriots in football. It's so ridiculous, so annoying.
Yeah.
At least they don't talk about the Revolution.
They probably talk about the Patriots so much because they have a lot of Patriots guys on their shows. Like, Scott Zolak played for the Patriots. And so, like, I don't know. They have a lot of connections with the Patriots.
And like, end of the day, if you have 20 years of constant success, always been in New England in terms of the Patriots, that's always where the market for the money's been, talking about the Pats. So maybe you figure in the next couple of years they make the shift over. But end of the day, guys,
don't win a championship, they're not going to be talking positively. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Even if the Celtics do win the championship, they might still have some bad things to say. But end of the day, Celtics pick up a 114-102 victory in Game 3 on the road in Philadelphia. They take back home court advantage as Jason Tatum scores 9 huge points in the last 2.5 minutes to close off and cap off a big-time win. He had 27 points, 10 rebounds on the night. Jaylen Brown tagged along 23 points, fighting through foul trouble, doing a great job defending James Harden. Al Horford, again, dare I say it, elite shooter, 17 points, 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. The Celtics will play the Philadelphia 76ers Sunday, May 7th, 3:30. You can catch me and Justin. I don't know if Jack, I don't know. For sure, just me and Justin.
No, Jack's not invited.
Oh, he's on the Cape.
Who
I don't think he
asked
can make
you?
it. But you can catch us live.
Jack.
You can catch us live.
Bro.
All right, I don't.
Yeah,
this
you can
wasn't
catch us
planned.
live.
This wasn't
Bye,
planned.
Jack.
All right, you can catch us live on the YouTube channel. We'll be reacting to the game. It'll be a lot of fun. So if you like this, come in during the game, check in. We'll be doing giveaways throughout the whole stream. That'll be a lot of fun. So there's that to look forward to. And guys, until next time, C's pick up a big time win in Game 3.